Hello folks, my name's David Edgar, I'm the host of Heart and Hand, the Rangers podcast, and coming to you after today's match at Parkhead, if you could call it that. Many years ago, my ex-wife made me go and see a film called Bridget Jones' Diary, and it was one of the worst things I'd ever seen in my life. And then, for some reason, a couple of years later, I somehow agreed to go back and see the sequel with her, despite knowing that, if anything, it was only going to be worse. And that came to mind today when I was watching Rangers cluster F their way around Parkhead today in a rather pathetic attempt at playing football. It was exactly what we thought it would be. To continue the cinematic theme, it was Groundhog Day. And to further continue the cinematic theme, I think we'd have been better off getting Tom Hanks' wee pal from Castaway to be on the bench for us today and in the dugout, because I think he would have shown more character than Graham Murty did. So there's no point in analysing the game. It wasn't a game, it was a slaughter. And again, the only good thing you can say about it was that it stopped at 5, because at 5-0, genuinely I thought 10. Genuinely did. I thought this is going to eclipse the last two. Frauds. Every single Rangers player is a fraud that played today. They were embarrassing. They didn't compete. They didn't win 50-50s. They stood and watched. There's a number of the Celtic goals where there are 5 or 6 opportunities to stop it and they don't. They were going through the motions. They didn't want to be there, and it was quite apparent. Graham Murty is not a football manager. We've been nice. We've tried to give him a go. If you watch these videos all season, there's times where I thought, oh, maybe, but you know, this is when you get judged. You get judged in the big games. You don't get judged when things are going well and you're beating a lower division side. And a lesson for all of us, including me there. And now he just looks like a guy who doesn't want to be there and should be removed from his position this evening. Before the match, he was asked, and he said, this a quote, he said, "I'm just the guy on the touchline. It's down to the players." Would very much be better off with that volleyball at that point. He might be able to at least bring a wee bit more fight to the side. So where do they go from here? Well, the board have to make 2 announcements, one of which is to be a new manager and one of which has to be the firing of the current one. And that's really all there is to it. I think the Rangers fans have put up with so much, but the players, every single one of them, humiliated themselves. I mean, let's not try to dress it up too much. They humiliated themselves first and foremost. But they humiliated us again, and there comes a point where you just have to say, look, we can't keep watching this. They are shit scared of those Celtic players. There's absolutely no doubt about it, and they just don't do the basics. And by that I mean other teams of lesser ability than us, and we are sitting second or third, is more likely, but there are teams who would have went there who are 8th or 9th in that league and fought harder and competed more. And yes, Celtic played well, but they wanted it more. And when you're up against a side who have more ability than you do, then you try and match it through things like hard work, determination, teamwork, tactics. We had none of those. And in the end, we got probably all we deserved. The only thing you could say is it could have been more. And again, I think that we don't want to hear from any of these guys, because we heard for the last time and we heard about, we know we need to do this and we know we need to do that. It's bullshit. They lie. Whether they're lying to themselves or just us, I don't know. But we don't want to hear from you. We don't want to see most of you. We certainly don't want to see Graham Murty again. It's time for a root and branch clear out there. Talk of a new manager coming in. You all know who that is. Hopefully it'll get confirmed, but until it is, I think we all know that the last few years have proven that you can never get too excited about something until that you see that it's done. And yeah, it was just a complete and utter abject surrender again from a bunch of losers managed by a loser who seem not that bothered about losing. And we're sick of it. I mean, we're kind of done. You expect your team to compete. This is the thing when people say, oh, well, what do you expect? We're here, this much money. Celtic have got all these advantages. You expect them to be able to compete. You shouldn't be going out and losing 4 or 5-0 and expect to lose 4 or 5-0 every time you run into any team in the SPFL. It just shouldn't be the case. But Rangers are slowly morphing into Aberdeen of the 90s when it comes to Celtic matches. No heart, no belief, no desire, no passion. If they're going to do that, then stop cheating the supporters who paid 50 quid a ticket to go and watch you there today. It's not fair on them. You're stealing money out of their pockets with that sort of display. So, moving onwards, that's a few more games to go in this season, and look, you can't really hold out a lot of hope. You can't watch the performances we've been putting in and say, oh well, we'll turn that around the next few weeks. There's no trust in these players, and nor should there be. So we'll see where we go from here. But it was bad. Thankfully, there's money to spend in the summer. There is a new coach coming in. Hopefully it's the exciting one that we've heard the name. And we will be back. It's as simple as that. There's a huge gap to try and close. But this is the thing, all we want to see is evidence that it's closing. This lot that are there in charge at the moment, they're just going to let things get wider and wider, and that's why you need root and branch change. The fans are about to turn on the board big style, and they better pull something out of the hat, because if they don't, then there's no place for them to hide. The fans have seen through what they've tried to do this season, where they've tried to just get by. They haven't managed it, they ran out of time, and as I say, they contrived today, and let me put this into simple terms, they contrived today to make a film to make a performance that was worse than the second Bridget Jones film. Worse than that. A more painful experience for a Rangers fan to sit and watch that than it was to sit and watch Rennie frickin' Zellweger try to be English. I know. Okie doke. Well, thank you very much for listening to me. I'll be back next week after our next match. Hopefully be back with at least news of a new manager. And until then, remember, stay staunch. You'll still wake up tomorrow a Rangers fan, and looking about the home stands today, that is at least something that we can always be grateful for. Take care. Bye.